Yeah, some love again. Sorry I didn't cover this before, but I just had new thought. So back to back lives. I don't usually do that. I usually wait a while. How you guys doing? Um, I read some comments and I decided to change my cult name. Won't be Jimmie Wiseman's Satan's Witnesses. I think that someone said that's redundant and confusing. So they're right. But someone else said they wanted to just be Satan's witness, but that's not the point. It's not Satan didn't see something. It's people that witness of. It's people that are witness of Satan. So I'll compromise. I'll call it Satan's Witnesses. No Jimmie Wiseman's, but plural. So the channel's my second YouTube channel is now called Satan's Witnesses. So that's actually the title now. So thanks for the advice. And then I want to comment on something, just something different's on my mind right now. And I'd like to comment about it. I'd like to comment on the way the way we're raised, not RAZED, but RAISED, the way we're taught when we grow up is very insidious. And it's not set up by people that have our best interests at heart, nor is it for our best interest. So let me comment a little bit. First of all, from the get-go, the people that run this world are not our friends. I don't know if they're aliens, reptilians, hybrids, or just evil fucking people, but they're not our friends. The agenda isn't what's best for us. It's what's best for them, and to hell with us. Know that from the get-go. Whatever happens, it wasn't for your good or mine. It's somebody. My favorite theory is that it's reptilian hybrids from alien reptilian hybrids, but I don't know that. I can't prove that. I'm not even an expert. I just know that they're not our friends. They're not on our side. They don't have our best interest at heart. In fact, they're evil and they want to control us, and they're wicked, and they're assholes. That's all the people that make everything, including the laws that we live by. And the school doctrines work in the churches, in society, family unit. We all have to wear clothes, all that crap. It's all evil. Okay, got that? Now, how about some more specifics about that and what happens? Well, I was part of it, and so were a lot of you, but I kind of got out of it / didn't buy it. So I'm like more qualified to make this talk than most people, I think. Because actually the system didn't work on me as much as it did most people. Like I was a fluke that kind of got through unscathed, but not completely, but enough unscathed that I can talk about it, but scathed enough that I have a gripe about it and have something to say. So have you heard the analogy of the elephant that's raised with tied to a pole? He's tied to a pole since he was born. And he's got this little string that he can't break free from. And all his life, he just doesn't. He knows he can't get away from the pole because he's tied to it with a rope. But as he gets bigger, he eventually becomes big enough to pull the rope away on his own. But he doesn't think he can, so he never tries. He forgets. He doesn't try again to yank himself away from the pole, even though he's big enough to do it now. He's been conditioned to think he can't do that. So he just stays the rest of his life. He stays by the pole, even though he could rip it apart anytime. And that's a good metaphor for how the way most people let the experience of being raised affect them. How it takes with them because they forget they don't realize that now they're old enough they don't need it. And not only that, there's that one thing. There's also conditioning. It takes 18 years to convince somebody of something beyond a shadow of a doubt, no matter how stupid and how fucking silly it is. And that's why they say when we're 18, we're free to go. But by then, everybody's indoctrinated. We believe it by then. We believe what the churches say. We believe what the school says. We believe what society says. We believe what our families say. And we never question it again. And as far as things that are we wish we could try, we don't try because like the elephant, we don't think we can. We were raised to think we can't. We don't realize we can't. So it's conditioning and there's training. in training in ineptness, an inability, trained that we can't do anything about it, and taught lies until we believe them. And we don't even question who's teaching us this and they have our best interests at heart. We don't even question that. That's either taboo or we don't think of it. It's either wrong and bad, or evil, or we're too stupid to do it. We just don't get it. They fool us or they shame us. They do neither for me. They don't fool me, first of all. I see you. Second of all, you don't shame me. I don't give a fuck. Evil people rule this world. Evil people make the laws. Evil people teach us what they teach us in school and church. And that's just the truth. If you don't believe it, study. If you do, maybe, and the particulars are there, what they teach us in church, all the evil they teach us, the made up Bible, the made up hell, the made up whatever. I'm going with it with my title of my cult because in case it's true, I'm on Satan's side. But if it isn't true, so what? I had fun. Either way, I don't serve God, whether he exists or not. I don't have to. Why should I? God's an evil thing. God wants to put me in hell by default, and that's evil. I don't care if he is God, which isn't even a title, which isn't even a name. It's a title. Like Lord, Queen Elizabeth II. Her name isn't Queen. Her name is Elizabeth. God is a title like Queen. God, Lord, Mr., Sir. Oh, I have no name. Well, fuck your name. God is not a name. It's a title. Anybody can be a God. Black Sabbath is God. Ozzy's God. Randy Rhoads is God. Eddie Van Halen is God. That's not their name. It's a title. It means respect and worship. I don't worship that, whatever that thing calls itself. YHWH, Yahweh, Jehovah, I don't care. It's all evil to me. And anybody that thinks it through will see that, or would see that, unless they're stupid or really aren't looking at it to see it through, because they think they're bad if they do that. Either they think they're bad, so they don't even try, or they try, but they're too stupid to figure out that God is evil. So my cult is Satan's Witnesses. And I'm against, and I mean, not only against what they teach us in school and church, I mean, but it didn't work with me. Now, let me qualify some of it. There's some good in school, because they teach you how to use your mind, okay? There's good. They teach you things, and that's good. We don't want to be dummies. But they teach and that's good. But they force you to do it, which maybe that's necessary because nobody would do it if they didn't force you. And but they teach you that it's for your benefit to learn it, and that maybe it is in some way, but they make it sound like you're going to be successful if you study and get good grades, and that's a lie. That's a skewing of the situation. The people that are rich are still going to be rich. The people that are poor are still going to be poor. Doesn't matter how smart you are or what you do in school. It just is. It's who your parents are. It's what your bloodline is. Queen Elizabeth didn't have to go to school, but Bum can't go to school. They're both in their society position because of who they are, not what they did in school or how smart they are or what they learned. Schools should be upfront about this and tell us it's just to learn. It doesn't mean anything. But no, they tell you, get good grades, you'll be successful. Well, that's a lie. Even though what you're learning is actually good, a lot of it. I believe in learning. But the method they get you to do good is kind of skewed and hateful. The way they give you grades, and it's very shaming orientated. Like you a lot of pressure on kids that are smart, because they just got to keep doing good, and they got to keep being the best, and they got to keep getting straight A's, and it's just a lot of pressure. I wish there were a softer way to do it. In other words, I find myself, because I'm that kid. I'm the kid that was smart and had to get straight A's and went to Harvard College and all that, and I find myself conditioned to be very hard on myself. And I think it goes back to that. And my dad hitting me, of course, and my mom slapping me, and the kids beating me up because I was smart. But a lot of it's school itself taught me to be very self-doubting. Like, oh my God, I missed that problem there. I'm a failure because I swiped that left instead of right on that screen right there. You know, I micromanage myself like I'm the teacher now and I'm giving myself bad grades. And I wish it didn't have to be that. I think that's kind of hard. I think it's kind of not loving of, it's not a loving environment they put smart kids in. It's a very testing, evil, hard, cruel, judgmental kind of environment and vibe. And now I'm healing from it. And I notice, wow, I do that. I do think I am hard on myself. Why do I do that? Because they were hard on me in school. But now I'm past 18. I can change it, and I'm trying to. But it takes work, and it sucks that I should have to. But I do, because I was trained to be hard on myself. No, and it sucks sometimes. That's all I'm saying. That I'm so hard on myself. I hold myself like to such high standards. A lot of that is due to school. School's great, you know, you learn a lot, but the way they do it is very unloving and very uncaring and very judgmental. And they don't care they don't care if you crack. There's always someone to take your place. I cracked, but there's another Jimmie to take my place at Harvey Mudd. Someone else did what I did. That wasn't necessary. The situation was necessary. Didn't have to be me. If I crack, so what? There's someone else taking my place. And that's not loving of the system. And a loving system isn't on our side, and a system that's not our side can't be trusted. Even though there's good in school. Anyway, love you guys. Peace.